second Flash show that was streaming live, the third show was streaming live. I want to say thank you to everybody for the feedback. Thank you to the new subscribers. It was really cool on Twitter because we didn't tell anybody we were doing this beforehand.
Yeah.
And, they went from listening to the shows and then jumping on and looking at it on YouTube. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
Some of my buddies in the group text were like, I guess they already had me on their Google Plus. And so they get the notification they're going live. They're like, oh, yeah, that was cool. So, yeah, man, glad everybody's enjoying it so far. Like, we hope to do this with, all the shows that we do when we're in position to do it. So, yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, right? Why not have people look at us when we do this? Kind of kill two birds with one stone. So, yeah, we left off last week with them actually going to DeVoe's house.
Yeah, they found out after the Council of Wellses ran their psychological profile, ran all the numbers, crunched all the numbers. They were like, this has to be him. And, it is. And they ran up on in his crib.
Yeah, and, when they pulled up on him, they, of course, were taken aback by the fact that, one, his wife answered the door, and two, the guy they're looking for seems like a mild-mannered type in a wheelchair.
Like the house, that's the first thing they pull up to the house, and it's just this gorgeous, big suburban house, right? And it's like, okay, so it's not like a dungeon or, something like an abandoned warehouse.
Yeah, it was like, nice. Yeah.
It's super, super dope crib. And his wife answers, super fine, housewife, dress, look like she's, maybe making a pie or something in the 1950s. And he pulls up all feeble in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
I mean, not like decrepit, but in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Legs don't work.
With the how may I help you voice.
Yeah, just totally, just a humble history professor. How may I help you, gentlemen?
So, a lot of this episode, we talked about it, when we saw it, like the pacing is just so different. It's not kind of villain of the week thing. It's not how do I use my powers this time to stop this guy. Like it's a prequel and it's history and it's a backstory and it's kind of trying to adjust to how to deal with this person, what made him the way that he is. It's a lot.
You get multiple flashbacks. It's definitely a flashback heavy show to tell DeVoe's story. DeVoe and his wife they're very much in this together.
Yeah.
It is not, she's not a sidekick. She's not, she is an engineering whiz, clearly. We'll get into why that's the case.
We opened up 4 years ago. Somebody's in his class watching cats on YouTube, of course.
And he's walking. He's all good, legs wise. Standing at the blackboard, trying to teach this history class that's sparsely populated, and the people that are there are on there watching cat videos or messing around on Facebook.
Yeah, just aren't into what he's saying. And we do get him actually dropping his notes as he's going through it.
Right, he's a little disheveled. He's not exactly sharp. He's not engaging. The kids are in their faces and how they are clearly indicates that.
Yeah. And so then his wife comes up with some sack lunches. And is she his wife at this point?
Well, the way they made it, because he says, I can't, I'm about to make
I was kind of trying to figure that out with how they were interacting with each other, what their relationship was early on. You know, like maybe it was less than what it ended up becoming as far as them being husband and wife.
And as light, and how light and seemingly to down, like she's a contemporary person. Like he doesn't, he's like mocking the fact that they're watching cat videos. And she's like, did you hear the one with the Huskies singing like a virgin? So she's like his anchor to the real world.
Yeah, exactly.
Pop culture, just society at large.
I like how it's 4 years ago, so people are still using chalkboards, not the clear board.
Not the clear board.
At Star Labs, right?
The technology hadn't come around yet.
So, what he's looking at creating at this point is that thinking cap. Yeah. He's kind of at the prototype stage, so he's trying to.
Well, he just has drawings and a concept. His whole thing is, I can't reach their small minds. Maybe my mind is too small to come up with a way to reach their small minds.
So like, it's a noble idea that he's coming up with. It's not just like this isn't for world domination.
It's still based in an insecure, self-conscious kind of selfishness.
Mm-hmm.
Like and it's noble because it's the what he chose to. I can't teach these kids. I can't reach these kids. It's still I can't, and I want to make it's not. I don't know.
It's not for everybody to reach children. It's not to make it an easy way for to teach learning worldwide. Yeah. It is about him.
Yeah. But again, because the subject, you're allowed to be selfish when it comes to you're trying to help others.
Exactly. So we come back to present time, and it's Barry and Joe basically saying like we have an investigation. Like the name DeVoe is what's come up in our investigation.
Like real quick, the only person that really faults a super busy, dedicated doctor is that doctor's husband or wife.
Yeah.
The patients, the hospital that he works for, ain't mad that he's still always around, always working hard.
Yeah.
It's just the person that he's ignoring.
Exactly. So yeah. And DeVoe like does things as this is going on to show how smart he is. I don't know if he's doing it intentionally to mess with Barry or not, but he's like, I figure there are at least 1,100 people with the last name DeVoe in the area.
Right.
Why do you figure that? Like, to what end?
Right. Like, of course, it wasn't an accident.
Yeah.
So he's definitely dropping these little breadcrumbs, these specific breadcrumbs.
And they start to pull out the names for the people who have been affected by the Dark Matter incident on the bus. Yeah. They pull out Ramsey, and they pull out Becky, and again, that picture, every episode. They pull out Ralph's picture, and then they pull out Mina's picture, Black Bison. Yeah. And he says, yo, she does look familiar. Yeah.
But he didn't pull out, he didn't have one with the tears guy.
Well, no, but I think they do get to him, or they have him on the board.
Right, but in this, they didn't show DeVoe.
Didn't bring him up.
Yeah. Because we still don't know what he's done, where he physically is. Is he literally, like, is all that stuff under this house? Or upstairs or something?
Like you figure they do it like super basic.
Because in the opener, they're in their like blue futuristic space, her hair slicked back, and she's saying, we're about to have visitors. And he says, well, let's get presentable and, welcome them.
Super fast.
And so, I mean, however long it took them to get from Star Labs to his crib.
To put the makeup on his face.
The wig, all that.
Yeah, a lot went into that. And is he speaking in Japanese? Yeah.
Speaks 6 other languages.
Like, why? They can't resist, like,
showing
just
off.
Baiting them. Like, yeah.
And it's showing off and, why would people so learned and well-traveled and foreign, he's South African, I assume. Well, no, they met at Oxford, so she's probably some kind of...
from somewhere else, somewhere in Europe. Yeah.
They're not. But again, he also he knows that he's going to find out. It's a weird game, and like watching it a second time and knowing his psychology, like it's a weird game that he is playing, and Barry isn't really having it. And there's no way they don't know Barry ain't having it.
Yeah.
Because Joe is like super cordial, like, oh, here's our number call, and Barry's just like. Staring them like,
they walk out the gate and Wells is outside with the big gun,
sunglasses,
in the sunglasses, like ready to shoot somebody.
Yeah, he really was
fully prepared to shoot somebody. And I mean, the theme of this episode is like Barry is on the case, on the trail. He knows and knows and knows, and
he's the only one.
Yeah.
And again, when we'll get to that point, but it was no hard feelings. When they were like,
yeah, it wasn't no beef. They were like, oh,
I had beef. I was like, oh, y'all, irrefutable evidence.
Yeah, man.
Take that man's gut.
And Barry is basically in front of everybody, trying to explain to them there's crumbs. There's so many crumbs. Why don't you guys see them?
Maybe that was the point with DeVoe
to kind of drive.
He's like, Barry's going to see it, and he's going to try to explain, and it's just not going to work for his team. Maybe sow some dissension, but it didn't really come to that. And
even at this point, they're still like, we don't know if this is the guy, but if you say he is, like, we'll keep digging. Yeah. We're not just going to give up.
Right. They didn't completely, immediately just blow him off. They're like, all right, he's Barry Allen. He's a Flash. He's a good detective. Let's keep up. But when things kept not adding up, and he was the only one to see, they were like, "Come on, Bear."
Yep. So did you catch this? Is Iris working for CCPD now?
Let's see.
So said, "Are you all right?" He said, "Yeah, thanks for asking." And then she tells him, "I think human resources, might not be okay with us being coworkers and all."
Yeah, it ain't Star Labs. That's for sure. They don't have an HR.
No, they do not.
Literally, they don't have. He's going.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
But yeah, so I guess so. I guess in her when he was in right. I think they explained that in episode 1 of this season, like the role
she's a liaison
she
for,
took on.
Yeah. And so look at him. He's actually watching. It's another flashback.
Yeah.
It goes back to right before Thawne as Wells is going to shut on the particle accelerator.
And he's watching one of his many press conferences.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just touting the thing. And here she comes, the wife.
So he is the one, like you said, that drew up the design. She made it.
Yeah.
And basically the issue is like they need a certain kind of energy to power it for it to work. And it's like, where are we going to find this type of power? Of course.
Yeah, he unmutes the TV and lets Wells finish his point. Right. So they literally, it's about to launch this week, so she finished like right on schedule. Right under.
Perfect timing.
And it's just this little cap that, looks up, you put it on, and it's got all kinds of electrodes and fancy doodads. But the fact that she was able to whip it up, they don't show a lab or any kind of tools or anything. But
so at this point, he's talking to his class in a wheelchair.
And they're super engaged. That's the first thing you know.
Barry's in the... Oh, no, this is back in the present.
Yeah, they're back.
They are.
They're back. The students are engaged, and he's got the command of this entire class. And in the middle of his, finishing up his lecture, he notices Barry sitting in the back row.
Yo, let me tell you how good he is. Somebody in the class at the end of the lecture got up, put his backpack on, and nodded at him, and then took off. Like, how good is your lecture for that to happen, right?
I learned so much, Professor.
Yeah. Like, word up. And Barry tells him, like, yo, I understand that you're busy. Just wanted to talk to you a bit more, won't take long. And then he asked him where he was the night of January 7th. He's like, I don't know. Right? Like, I have no idea. And how far back does this investigation of yours actually go? And of course, I'm not even going to discuss that with you. Like, who are you? He asked him if he uses public transit. He's like the subway? Like, imagine me in a wheelchair. It's like, no, more like a bus.
And for some reason, I don't understand why that was like this tense moment. Specifically, no, more like a bus. And then everything kind of got weird.
How much did Lyft pay to get that in here?
Oh, right. He's like, yeah, I'm more of a Lyft guy.
They're wheelchair friendly.
Yeah, they're wheelchair friendly.
Wow.
I mean, he's not in just a regular old standard wheelchair.
Uber saw this and was like, yo, we should have just cut the check, dog.
Right, Austin was like, that could have been us. But we a tiny regional company.
And he's telling him, like, it feels like you're pressing me. He's like, yo, can I go back to doing what I'm doing, or do I need to come with you? Like what's the deal? He asked him basically, like, am I under arrest? He's like, nah, just take my car, man. And then Barry,
and even as the look in DeVoe's eyes, as he looks up from the card after Barry did his little speed thing and stole his mug, it's a knowing look.
Yeah,
like,
I seen you, dog. Like, you're not
I felt
slick.
that breeze, young boy. Stop it.
Yeah, man, come on. And so, yeah, he's out of here with the mug. Barry's actually breaking the law at this point. Like, as an investigator, like, you can't.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah,
the people here.
I mean, yeah, because you can't use it.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so what's crazy is they put it up.
Surface.
Yeah, they put it up against metadNA, and his DNA is completely normal. So
now is that because he's a step ahead and he hadn't even used the mug? It was just some maybe the wife was last to use it, or somebody.
But I wonder if he's not,
or if he's just
like, what is he not a meta? Like maybe he's not. Like,
well,
they needed it to power. I thought they needed it to power the machine, not to power his brain.
No. The cap needs power, so
Yeah.
he's gonna put it on as the particle accelerator gets turned on. Like that's the power.
Yeah, but that doesn't make him a meta.
But it made everybody else a meta.
Yeah, but they weren't wearing a cap. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it powered the cap, the power source. It didn't power him. Like he's wearing a smart guy's thing. He's already a genius guy.
Right, but the cap, you know. So you're saying because the cap was a buffer, the particle accelerator, the dark wave energy.
Like Iron Man wouldn't have meta DNA, but Iron Man has his awesome suit, and he's also super smart, and it lets him do all kinds of smart stuff.
Okay, he had the cap on.
Mm-hmm.
The particle accelerator energy, the dark energy, activates and then changes his brain. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So it's like, well, whatever she built the cap to do, did that to his brain.
Yeah.
Literally, the particle to the dark matter was just the gasoline, just the
that's all I'm saying.
Fuel the cap. The cap was designed to do a thing, and it did that thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, Ori's masking it. Like after all that, like after I get you to come see my side, it's like Ori's masking it.
Right.
Yeah.
But actually, now it does make sense that he's not a minute.
So they have Cisco Vibe, the coffee mug, and he finds nothing. That's the thing that's kind of like, okay, now you are manipulating. Yeah. So,
but still, the DNA stuff or whatever, or the cap. I mean, as far as being meta, like I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of it could go either way.
Yeah. And Barry walks out, and Iris is like, "Yo, it's possible that you're so determined to catch the bad guy that you'll see it in anybody." And you see Barry's dilemma. He's like, "Yo, like,"
but he's got this. Remember, he was all gung ho about writing villains up on the thing and putting people in this box. So they're looking at Barry from that perspective. Like, this is another one that you just want to fit in this bad guy box. Look, Tibney turned out to be, he's our partner. So they have all this reason to be skeptical. That's why it's like you don't get mad at. That's why you understand that Barry's like, yeah, no, I understand y'all didn't believe me. It's, they pulled off a good one.
So another flashback. It's Caitlin next to Fawn as well.
First Wells.
Yeah.
And now we've seen this press conference a few times.
Yeah.
At least this is made at least the second or third time. The third time we've seen this
with different people.
From different perspectives. Yeah. Because this was a major thing for Barry.
Exactly. He just looks so young in that.
And the way he's looking up at Wells, like with all this admiration,
wonder. Yeah. And like this is really, and it's weird to think like it was all about him. Like this whole thing is about him.
What? And this was so weird. So the line he gives, and everybody just chuckles. Oh, I guess the entertainment isn't limited to the stage. And somebody snatched Irish's laptop bag, and the crowd just goes,
security, like nobody, police.
Like,
So then, DeVoe's wife is like, "Yo, like this could open a black hole. Like that. What do you have to respond to that?" And he's like, "Probably calculated to the tiniest detail, the tiniest decimal point." And she asks him, "So you've foreseen every outcome?" And he says, "Yes, I have, Mrs. Marlise DeVoe." Oh, DeVoe. And then I think he looks to the side and sees him. I expect her to make gentlemen to the right, your husband. And the confidence in his heart, boy. Yes.
Now, do you think Thorne? I mean, Thorne's a future guy, so any chance he knows that name?
Yes.
He knows DeVoe
because Barry fights DeVoe in the future, and he knows Barry's entire history.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's like, look at this. Flash is here. Hit one of his major enemies is here. Like, I'm such a.
Who else is going to show up over this time? Like, somebody else is coming. Like, they're going to flash back to this next season.
Yeah. Who else was there?
Gorilla Grodd sitting in the cut.
They call it the Gorilla Baby. Gorilla Baby Grodd.
With his iPad, recording.
Oh, damn, man.
But, yo, he's like, yo, I'm willing to take a risk. Yeah, that blast is the only thing that we can do. And she's like, yo.
Oh, they figure out he wants the thing's going to explode.
Yeah, they know.
And then because they're all types of crazy mathematicians and engineers. So she goes, yeah, he wants it to explode. And he's like, bet. That doesn't matter for us. Like, matter of fact, that might work even better. And
so it's like raining and storming that night.
Thundering and lightning. And he's outside of Star Labs among all the protesters. And the rain stops and goes up.
Oh, and that's the coolest thing. He's like, it's starting.
Yeah, he's got an earpiece communications to his wife. She's in the van monitoring, like, I guess his vitals or the cat's vitals.
And everybody's like falling and scrambling. Like,
Right.
he finds a way to stand still.
And you see, like, parts of the building falling off. The stuff we see scaffolding for now.
Then the accelerator explodes. He looks up with the helmet on. And she's like,
The energy levels are going off the charts. It's way higher than they expected. The cap activates crazy lightning, and energy going into him, and it throws him across like the promenade or whatever, and the cap flies off, and he's just knocked out. She runs to find him.
Yeah, finds him pretty quickly, it seems.
Yeah. She was only parked around the corner.
She thinks he's out of there. Yeah. He appears to be out of there.
Yeah, she starts giving him CPR.
Yeah. And then, does he wake up as this is going?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Take a big breath. Right.
There you go. Yeah. She willed him back. And so he's, I thought I'd lost you. And what does he say to her?
I know.
Yeah, how do you feel?
Some shit.
Enlightened. Just like that. And so, let's see here. So Barry is taking notes. Plainclothes, not a plainclothes, uniform cop comes up to him. And he's like, I don't know, man. Sing's making that face. And so Barry rushes out. And he's like, trust me, I understand. Barry walks in, and of course, it's DeVoe and his wife.
Yep.
And he's telling the story. He's like, he came to my house. He came to my classroom. He said, what's next? Our bedroom where we sleep?
Right. And he's being super indignant, like his life is in danger or something. Or possibly.
Being harassed.
Right.
Yeah.
And they just, the couple of the DeVoes, they just look, like super pissed off, like they've been like they've done the wrongest. Like, man, chill out.
So he says, what are they doing here? He's like, they just filed a complaint against you, said you harassed them. He said, why are you bothering them at all?
And then we're reminded that this isn't even...
This is off the books.
Official investigation. This is all Star Lab stuff.
And he tells them straight up, stay away from the professor and his wife. He said, unless the answer is they're guilty of a very specific crime. Like, you're off base. That's accurate. And you don't show up at someone's house and start asking questions. You follow protocol. And so he looks at Barry before he turns around, and Barry just feels it more. He's like, there's something here.
Yeah.
He's really under his skin at this point.
He knows it. And this is where everybody else starts turning. Like, come on, we're getting in trouble. Like, your career's on the line here. And even Iris goes over to his work board. He pulled down the thing so she wouldn't see it. She lifts it up and sees his whole conspiracy board with the push pins.
All signs point to DeVoe.
Push pins and yarn. Those boards.
And he says, she's not Susie Homemaker with the mac and cheese. Like, she's a Stepford wife. She has 2 degrees.
One in advanced robotics, engineering.
It's like, he comes up with a plan. She executes him. She's like a mechanical genius. It's all facts.
She's like, so you think they're super villains? And she's like, listen to yourself.
He said yes.
Yeah, he did. He's like, yep.
You already filed a complaint against you, Barry? He's like, okay.
Yeah.
And the Irish names the whole team. Like, they're the best, and they haven't found anything on him. Which is accurate. Like, we're getting married in a week. Like, please. Yeah, for the sake of your job and my sanity, please let it go. Like, we still need income. Even though you could just rob people forever. We still need income.
Another flashback.
Yo, he's going crazy.
He's home on his chalkboard, figuring out everybody's theories. Mm-hmm. All these famous scientists and thinkers. She's like, I solved them. Right? Riemann's hypothesis, Hilbert's 15th problem, standard conjecture on algebraic cycles, the list goes on. And he's exhausted. You can tell he's probably just been writing and thinking for hours and
hair
hours.
Going crazy.
Ask me anything.
Sweating.
Who's Jack the Ripper? Then he goes through the standard,
which is awesome.
Yeah, he goes through the standard, historic, what's accepted historically. But he's like, nope, it was the nurse.
Yeah.
And most people do figure it was somebody, not even a nurse, like somebody.
What's crazy is she's shocked.
Yeah.
Like.
And he's like, every bit of knowledge resides in my brain. Everything, every question ever asked. And she's super excited. And then he's like, we're finally going to bring the world we've got the means to bring the world. And then he starts having a seizure.
Have you seen From Hell?
From Hell? No.
Yeah, Johnny Depp. He plays Inspector whoever was assigned the case, and then they tell their own version of it. Like, it was basically like there's like a society of like doctors, and it was one of the doctors that did it because it made sense because he's a doctor. It's a pretty good
stuff
movie.
Sliced out all kinds of neat and clean and precision.
Can't just be nobody off the street, man.
Right. Now Barry's in Star Labs alone.
Finally, we've been telling you since since
week 1.
402.
02, yeah. Come on. So the Samuroid head is buzzing. He checks his phone. He thought it was his phone. And he snatches out what he thinks, I guess, is the power source or something.
And you think he knows it's a small camera, maybe? Mm-hmm. Yo, so she kisses him goodnight. Like, is that a plot, though? It's weird, like...
Yeah. Right! Like, they activated it.
But if you know everything, maybe you set it up like that. She leaves at the right time because she knows he's coming, like... Mm-hmm. It's a lot to figure. He didn't put no mask on?
He didn't put a mask on. He think his hoodie is going to protect him from...
Spider-Man would have had a mask.
Like, not even like... Like, do your face! Do your vibrating face! I guess he figures, why would they have cameras?
Why would you take your hood off? You're bad at this.
He makes so many bad decisions just in this. Number one, he just found the thing and he didn't take time to think about it, run a test on it there before running off to...
Well, he in there with the flashlight, and she done pulled up at the house, so he kind of speeds through, runs, or he scrambles to find a place to hide, it seems. She comes in with the groceries. Then she got some sourdough there. Barry almost makes a picture fall and catches it.
But he's Flash.
Yeah, the picture was, of course, going to hit the piano. And it hit the keys because reasons.
Well, he's Flash. And he can do that, but he can't do the armored suit and then catch the Black Bison in the same. Yeah. So another flashback.
And so, like, again, I compared this to being like Professor Xavier, right? Like, you have, like, it's like ALS, but it's stronger. So basically, like, his brain output, it seems like, is causing his body to fall apart. Like, kind of how in X-Men, depending on who's telling the story, Professor X's powers.
And he's got no respect for the doctor. He snatches his file out of the doctor's hand. Before the doctor he's finishing the doctor's sentences, like, I know, ALS, advanced, blah, 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 neurosis, blah, whatever. And he's like, how do you know that?
Genius in him, dog. Yeah, man.
What did you say you're a professor of?
History.
This man skeptically, like, history. And she asked, what's the diagnosis? He's like, hey, most ALS, 2 to 5 years. Yeah, and then he finishes the diagnosis and says, paralysis will come first. Basically, I got weeks or months, and he throws the file down, and they just And then he explains, my mind is drawing energy from my body like a parasite feeding on an ailing host.
Mm-hmm.
So close to everything we dreamed of. This is where the heel turn takes place. Where it goes from just, selfish, maybe self-centered, but good works is the
But he said
end.
2,600 people developed the metagene, and they use it to rob banks and stuff.
And I guess and create tornadoes.
He even says it. He does have it. So he develops his, and this is what happens to me.
Okay.
So yeah, he does have the metagene.
So he just was able to mask it somehow.
He should have listened to our show on Wednesday and found out he's not special. You're not special. You need to accept what's going on with you. Maybe you should have robbed the bank. He all pulled up on Barry, and he's like, "Yo, the camera's not even active." He's like, "Yo, I heard it. It made a noise." He's like, "A noise?" He's like, "Yeah." Inside the Samurai head, it was buzzing. I found that thing inside.
He's been watching this for weeks.
Yeah, and I could have proved it, but his wife came back too soon. And then, Caitlin, into what this looked like.
Too soon from what? And Iris was like, "Tell me you didn't break into their house." He's like, "Well, Cisco's like, everybody hits the head palm face like, oh, what has he done?"
He's like, he wants us to think he's unassuming and weak. He's not. He's powerfully smart. He's been ahead of us every step of the way. Even Wells is like, "Yo, chill out." Like, I wouldn't even go about it quite this way. He would have just shot the guy. But yeah, he said, they tell Barry he's breaking and entering. He's like, "Yo, like, do you know?" Like,
and they circled him. Yeah. So he's standing in this circle of his friends, flailing and pointing, and
everybody's pressing.
And then he gets a call, and
he's like,
"They're back."
Yeah, he found something. You better shut up.
She's crying. Marcel.
How you gonna cry because the police in your house?
He's like, "I haven't done anything to you." She's like, "You broke into our home."
Yeah, she's fed up, dog.
Yeah, and then he shows hands over pictures of indisputable evidence that Barry was in the crib, and she's putting on the whole show. "We're good people. We don't deserve this." And Singh assures her, "Oh, his antics are going to stop immediately." And Joe is he can't do nothing but watch. And
she popped him, dog.
She slapped him. I was wondering.
He's not gonna send her to jail. I would have sent her to jail. And Barry got his head down just so like, and he told him, "I told you to stay away from these people." He's like, "You're taking 2 weeks off. That's not a request." And the first thing I thought, extended honeymoon, baby.
He's like, "You're suspending me?" He's like, "You're lucky I'm not arresting you."
Yeah, for real.
Use your time to think wisely to think about your future in law enforcement.
It's real tough.
Ooh, you get that line.
It's not what you want to hear from your boss, man.
Yeah.
Not at all.
You need to go think about your future in this industry.
Yeah, man. Ugh. So, Barry's at the crib.
Yep.
Swanky
Iris walks in looking all fine in that maroon dress. And finds the suspension paperwork. Or no, the restraining order.
500 feet.
She's like, are you going it? He's like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I got to do. He said, "This isn't you. You've got to stop." He's like, "I can't." And I respected, like, people are taking so much from you playing y'all that you didn't know what was going on. This is your first chance to be out in front of this thing. Like, you got to be mad. You got to feel away. And, like, he feels more dangerous than all the other ones. Because I don't know anything about him. Like, this is...
we know all this about him. That's why he's dangerous. And we can't do anything. We can't prove. We haven't seen a shred of real evidence besides Barry's intuition. Like, man, this is... Like, he's thinking, man, if we had a jump on Thawne or Zoom or any of these... Or Savitar... Like, at this point in the game, we would have taken them down, whatever. And we know all this. We got this future information, and we still can't do anything. This is definitely dangerous.
Yeah. Yo.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yo, what about, like, all these things that are going to happen to us? Like,
what happens when the baby comes?
Seal has a baby. We get married.
What about
like, we have a baby.
And Barry had this nice little...
People are always going to be coming after us. And you can't let it consume you, like, yeah. And this is, how are you not scared, Iris? And what did she tell him? is because we're the Flash. Word up.
That whole run with Savitar got her confidence, man.
Yeah, like
remember she was like, "Oh, so I'm not going to die? It's time to live reckless."
Exactly. I'm finna act up, man. She was putting herself in front of guns, letting herself get taken hostage.
I mean, in the episode with the samurai, she was like, "Take me."
Yeah. She knew Barry was gonna come back some type of way.
Yeah.
Yo, he's hurting, boy. He can't do nothing. Body is collapsing.
Yeah. So this is, flashback. So he's dealing with, being, having no leg, working legs. And he's trying to get a book off the top off the fireplace or something, off a shelf. And the book falls. He falls. She runs in. He calls himself an abomination. He's just.
Can't even get a book off the shelf.
Yeah, he's just feeling all kinds of sorry for himself. She gets the book for him. He slaps it out her hand, but
So you strong enough to slap the book. That's what I would have told him.
Oh shit!
Strong enough to slap the book.
Oh, so you slap it out by hand, but you can't reach
pick
for
it up though. Weak.
She too far.
She love him too, boy. She not even she wants him to be okay, but she don't care if he not, man.
Yeah.
He said, "Let me die."
She's like, I don't even care if you don't work from the waist down no more.
Doing everything she can for that man.
I'm gonna build you a torso.
Yes.
Or not a torso.
How much we got some sheet metal?
Some pistons.
Mm-hmm. Yo, she picked that boy up and put him in that chair.
Yo, you see her legs?
She's solid.
A fit woman.
She's solid. And she told him, "I'm not going anywhere."
Like, this body will expire. She's like, then we'll,
And she pull out the Surface Pro.
Oh yeah, and that's of course. She pulls out the Microsoft Surface, and then she's like,
she's been working on the
chair. Like, fam, I got you.
Dog.
I'm gonna build this, and then it's the chair that he now, or at least.
What you gonna do when he sacrificed her to survive? She go through all this.
First off, she's gonna probably be like, "Go ahead, you gotta use me as a projectile or something to throw me into the thing, or go ahead. I'm sorry, face. She probably gonna be all good."
And he tells him, like, "Yo, don't call the cops. You gonna hurt me?"
Right. So he's like, "What are you doing here, risking your freedom?" And Barry's straight up with him, like, "I want to look you in the eyes and ask who you are really."
Yeah. And he looks around for a second, taps on his book, and he can't. His body's working pretty good now.
Now he's got all these books around with notes and stuff in them. Like, that's just for show, right? I mean, you don't need to go look.
I'm sure he knows where the book was printed.
Right.
Like, yeah. It's all for show.
And he's like, "Who's asking? Barry Allen or the Flash?"
He's like, "How did you?" He's like, "Oh, please." He said, "Your little secret is one of the more underwhelming revelations I've uncovered. I was born the same evening you were, January 7th, Night Star Labs Particle Accelerator, Bay Central City, in gene-altering dark matter. Said we were both struck by lightning. True.
It's like, I knew you were affected.
He said, how did you just not read the meta-DNA? He's like, "Dog, I'm smarter than you."
Yeah, for such a fast man, you're pretty slow. Like, I'm smarter than you. There's no way you and your team can devise a strategy, no action, no coordinated effort for which I'm not already prepared.
And again, he should have just shot him.
He's like, the samurai, the bus metas, that was all you?
I would have had a whole
And he gives him a little eyebrow raise. Like, why reveal yourself now? Because he's like, I don't have anything to fear from you. I can tell you just classic old school bad guy. Except Barry's not tied up about to go into a pit of poison or acid.
And this is supreme confidence then. Like, he's just like, "No, you still have a shot."
Right. Can any of those clowns identify, could they identify what my abilities are? And you still think you can all
this
that
is like
can't
competition, man. Like, this is different. Like, I just want you to know there's nothing they can do. And he said, "Yo, everybody who's gone against me, they've all failed."
He's like, punching gorillas and all these rudimentary powers, shooting icicles. It's like children playing with guns. Savitar, Zoom, Thorn. Their powers are nothing compared to the power of limitless thought. And Barry is
a point.
Aha moment. Oh.
That's your ability, huh? Your intellect was amplified by the particle accelerator. Yes, Barry. Yes, we know.
You may be the fastest man alive, Alan, but I'm the fastest mind. And Barry right then, hand through the chest. I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, you just explained to your team how dangerous and all that and how he feels, and he just told you all that. You gotta kill him. You gotta put aside all.
You gotta start killing people.
You gotta put aside all your hero, all your integrity.
Then you just gonna kill everybody.
And just
everybody dies.
hand through the
Just kill him. But yo, he put it out there. He told him what it was. Yo, Barry's back again, and he gotta tell them all like, yo,
just confronted him. He admitted to everything.
Yeah. He said, "There's something I need to tell you. I confronted DeVoe," and they're all disappointed. Like, he's like, "No, he wanted me to come." And he's like, "For starters, he knows that I'm the Flash." And Iris, dramatic music, Iris eyebrows automatically go up. He says, "So you were right all along. We didn't believe you." And they're like, "Hey, our bad." That's one thing this show has done a lot since we first started covering it. We were always like, yo, I just think the way that they're going to react to this thing is going to be so negative. Right. And it's always
we had to get over that in season 2. Like, they
were
don't
like, no, they're pretty rational.
Like grudges, and when a secret comes out, they go, "Oh yeah, I understand. Maybe that's what you had to do." Yeah.
And they even say it like, "Yo, how do we stop this?" Like, hey, we're pretty smart. They are pretty smart.
Yeah, Cisco names him the Thinker.
And they say it's going to take all of us to stop him. And so like, y'all can use a hand. And there goes Wally with maybe Wally's best hair yet. By best, I mean worst. Super conked up.
Super conked, slick back.
How is Blue Valley? Self-reflection and a battle with a starfish from outer space gives you perspective. So, starfish is Starro. If you watch Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, you've seen him on there. Basically, ancient parasite from a planet that has to latch onto your body and then produce millions of offspring to survive. Really just cool when he gets a hold of Superman and basically put Superman, like, you know how they do on these shows when we put the hero in the mental lock so they're living their very best life and they don't know what else is
going on. Supergirl dealt with that.
Yeah, so similar. And he, it was just cool. And apparently it was on him forever.
That was how we really got extended scenes of Krypton. Was when she was in that dream state.
Yeah. So yeah, it'd be cool if they did like a little at least animated thing with Wally showing that. But I feel like Starro's never going to show up on this show. It's too much money.
I don't even think the Supergirl one had a name.
Okay.
Besides whatever parasite.
Okay.
Like Kryptonian parasite.
Yo! So they're back in their underground lair or whatever. Why does she do her hair like that? I mean, it's cool, but she goes full outfit. So they're down there talking about it, got caught. They talk about the name of the Thinker, and he starts shaking.
Well, he says, I've run 400, almost 5,000, situations or whatever, simulations of that situation. And 4,900 of them, they call me the teacher. So he's like, kind of like, oh, this was different. So I don't know if that's like a little hint that
maybe he don't quite got it all
figured out. He's not, it was that 100 that he came, it was 99.8%, with that 0.2%, made all the difference. So yeah, as you said, they're complimenting themselves about how well their plan is going and how they can't be stopped. And he starts seizing up, his arms start shaking, and she's like, "You've been unplugged too long." And then he realized, like, oh yeah, he needs to sit in that chair more than he needs to sit in that chair. Yeah, his regular old electric wheelchair. So she kisses him and then pulls his hair back.
And his head's open and
completely
his
removes his scalp.
Yeah.
His brain is just bird's eye view of his brain. His brain's just glowing. His chair. I mean, I know she's a dope engineer and stuff, but how does she create this hover chair thing? Like, I need some explanations. I need some answers. But for her specifically,
I mean, she's a doctorate in auto mechanics,
all that, but that
robotics.
came before. Like, did she get
any
residuals?
If she has a doctorate in that, and he has the mind for it, he can tell her, this is what needs to go where. Like, he can assist with that, I'm sure. Yeah, because she had the prototype already, but as far as the execution, maybe probably, they tag teamed on that. But he's plugged backed up in a leather suit. And I guess he's not wearing makeup. It's just the lighting in the room makes him look really pale.
Because it does the same for her.
Yeah.
Pretty brown.
Mm-hmm. And yo, your body's deteriorating faster than the chair can handle. And I will survive long enough.
Yeah.
And
he's watching Barry and Iris on their couch in real time.
Yeah. You're really gonna let them get married? This is what is knowledge without love. Right. Man, he about to do something dastardly, boy. Ooh.
Not like at the wedding.
No, I mean afterward though. Like he's setting them up for a big fall. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know how exactly we're gonna do next week, but we got a few shows. It looks like.
Yeah, I gotta catch up on
Supergirl. Yeah, got Supergirl. And it says it's a 2-night event.
Right, and it starts Monday, so it's only Supergirl and Flash, so we can still do our normal. You know, I won't have to necessarily watch Legends or Arrow.
Yeah, because I'm thinking.
But you will, and then if there's any
residual
references, you know, you'll be able to fill in on that.
Exactly. So yeah. Again, the biggest difference in this episode, we don't get Flash saving the day. We don't even get Barry in the costume.
We got him being fast once when he stole the mug, and then when he vibrated through into the house, and then he did some with the picture.
Exactly.
You know, he did a little running around, but no outfit, no Flash suit. It was just story driven and driving this DeVoe storyline forward.
Is the plan to take Barry's body and put his brain?
Oh my goodness, that makes so much sense.
And it's like it's so surface.
Like because if he's always generating that electricity and all that, that's enough energy his mind can feed off of that.
Exactly.
So for a couple jogs or whatever a week, if you know run around the block, that'll oh man.
Exactly. Like that's.
And she could. Like, he ain't worried. He imagine the suit he could build.
Yeah.
For himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you Cisco and Wells and all those guys can build dope suits and all this technology. Mm-hmm. But what DeVoe he shook off Savitar, Thawne, Zoom. Savitar's suit was you know what I mean? It was so super dope. It could do stuff without you in it.
Yep.
You know, so if he's just flagging them off, imagine what if he had
nothing like
this is basically what's the one Emilio Estevez and Mick Jagger, Time Jack.
Okay.
It was a time travel movie with Mick Jagger as the bad guy or as somebody, and Emilio Estevez is the main protagonist. And
sure it's not Mighty Ducks 4?
No. He was a race car driver, and his IndyCar too. This was the early '90s before stock car really took off. So, and his car went airborne and hit like an overpass and exploded. Ooh. But people from the future knew that was going to happen and timed it and bought him in before his body, before the crash. And it's like why insurance didn't want to pay out because there was no body, all this stuff. And it was the main bad guy, Rutger Hauer, whoever it ended up being, I don't remember.
You said it was like an 80s movie, so Rutger Hauer.
Yeah, like 99. And he wanted Emilio Estevez's body.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, it was like 2040, maybe everybody had a weird, super AIDS or something. I don't know.
Wanted Charlie Sheen's body, but that one had deteriorated.
He was like, you know what, I saw y'all in Men at Work. I'll take your body. So this is really, really harkening back to something like that. Like, oh man, I don't know if that would be cheesy or if it would just be great because it makes so much sense.
But so far, all the things that have made sense to us in these 4 seasons, they've done something else. So we'll see.
But something else that made sense.
No, it's always been the right thing, it seems. But
I didn't think
so. We'll have to see. I'm interested to see what the plot is, and it sounds like they're probably going to take a week. Like you say, it's going to let them get married. So it's almost like the show telling us next week it's not going to have to do with the plot of this story. So you have to take a little break from that. But yeah, probably in 2 weeks we'll be back on the main trail. But yeah, I think as far as being really almost totally different from any episode that we've seen. It was more along the lines of an episode of Arrow with the flashbacks, how they tie into the present, the way that they did the cuts. I wonder if it was a similar director. I'm sure somebody can end up telling us about that. Yeah, I thought it was cool. Anything else you want to say about the episode before we get out of here?
No, good episode. There hasn't been a bad episode this season.
It's all been pretty good.
It's all told a fine story, and the pacing's really good. I like the introduction of Dibney. He wasn't around.
Yeah, he was in that special clip, but he wasn't in the episode. Yeah.
Again, every time they have a chance to be like bitter and petty with each other, they don't. This is a really tight knit group, and it's really good to see them put in situations over and over again where they just get through it like adults and go, you know what, you were right, or I was wrong, or oh, I didn't see it that way. Let's move forward.
Not a lot of holding on.
No hard feelings.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm doing this thing. Yeah. Again, I want to thank everybody for who subscribed to the channel here pretty new. Please tell people about the channel. Tell people about the podcast via iTunes and Stitcher and SoundCloud. Any email questions you have for us, you can send those to southcongress@gmail.com. At southcongress with a K, southcongress@gmail.com. Monday night I will be live streaming from Hops and Heroes here in Austin, a local comic book, a non-profit comic book shop and children's museum. So you're going to get to hear their story, and then we'll be back next week during the week, again, covering The Flash and Crisis on Earth X. Listen to us every Wednesday, and go ahead and let them know about the East Coast cast, Trav.
If you like pro wrestling, if you like what you hear us do on this show, and you also like pro wrestling, a little more uncensored, a little raunchier over there, check us out, eastcoastcast.com. We're live every Wednesday, 6:30 Eastern till we stop. And 6, 7, 8 years or whatever we've been doing this worth of archives. So if you're even like, hey, I wonder what the East Coast Cast guys thought when Rock came back in 2011, you can find it. What did they think when Lawler had his heart attack on air?
Yeah.
You can find it, whatever, Yeah. So it's tons of archives. And again, we're on live every Wednesday, eastcoastcast.com. Check us out.
Yeah, hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Hope nobody lost their minds Black Friday. This has been the South Congress Podcast Fan by Fan Show for CW's The Flash, episode 407, entitled Therefore I Am. For Travis, I'm Cameron, and we're out.